Ooh, it's so hellfiery.
Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is Welcome to Hell, Michigan, a Kids on Bikes RPG one-shot set in the world of Welcome to Paradise, Michigan, a regular weekly campaign that takes place every Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/Mini Terrain Domain. It's been a while since I've run a one-shot. And I think this one shot came together in like 3 weeks, maybe. From when I had the idea, I made the teaser poster, which is the logo up here. I put out a call for players and filled those player seats very quickly. And here we are. And it just coincidentally, or perhaps by design. Well, I had nothing to do with the fact that it's Friday the 13th today. That was beyond me. But it's also Friday the 13th, 1985 in the game. Ostensibly, this is a one-shot. But I just told the players, I was looking over my notes, and I'm not entirely sure we're going to fit this all in tonight. And I did not hear any complaints. So this may end up being a 2 or 3 shot. So we'll just have to suck it up and play another game or two if we don't finish this one tonight. No, I'm really excited. We're gonna do things just a tiny bit different here. And you may even notice slight rules differences in the way that we're running this game, because this is not a campaign game. These players do not have access to domain pops. So we are actually using the adversity token system. As a reminder, players, you all start with 3 adversity tokens. So make sure you have that marked down if you haven't already. We're going to in a moment, I'm gonna have each of you introduce yourself, since this is the first time this group has come together. Some of you have played on here. Some of you, this is your first time, and this is all of us collectively our first time to playing together as this group. Before I do that, a couple of super quick announcements. First off, just a content warning. We are adults playing as adults or teenage kids in a science fiction, fantasy, horror setting. You may hear adult language. You may hear graphic depictions of violence. You may hear intense role-playing and hear descriptions of children in peril. These children in particular. So be aware of that. I completely lost my train of thought for a second. Sorry. Trying to multitask. All of that said, Tamiko, the command you're looking for is ! Audience. We have had a session 0 for this game. I'm always promoting the importance of session 0s, even for one-shots, especially for one-shots and with players you've never played with before, because session 0s are important. It allowed us to establish our lines and veils, to agree upon lines and veils, and it allowed us to get to know one another a little better and run over our safety tools in particular, which are the traffic light system that we use. We encourage you to use session 0s, lines and veils, and safety tools at your own games. I'm just realizing as I'm telling my players, or telling you this, I neglected to post the consolidated consent form, which I have now done in our Discord, players.
Just gonna ask about that.
Yeah, pop that open. Just keep an eye on it. For the most part, I feel pretty confident we're going to stay away from those. There are a couple of things. If we stray into that, or stray into any red lights, please use your traffic systems either verbally or in the chat. And I'm aware of what's on there, so I'll call them as well. If you are new here to Mini Terrain Domain, welcome. I am MTD Jake, and this is one of many games that we stream. You can check out our schedule. Um, we have a few different games going on during the week. I'm going to stop talking after I say one last thing, and I'm going to turn it over to these players to introduce themselves. The last thing I want to say to my players, to my audience, to anybody who's watching later on VOD, you matter. Your presence on this earth makes a difference. Whether you believe it or not, it's true. There are any number of reasons why people may be struggling. I know for myself, one of the main things that I found difficult when I knew I needed help with my anxiety and depression was I didn't know how to get that help. I don't want people to have that be what they're struggling with. So if you find yourself in that situation, all you have to do is type !help in our chat. We don't even have to be streaming. You can just come to twitch.tv/mini-terrain-domain and type help in the chat. And a couple of URLs will pop up. They are findahelpline.com, or you can check out the growing list of resources at takethis.org. We encourage you to check out those websites, bookmark them, save them for yourself, save them for a friend, and remember, you matter. With that, I'm going to go around the overlay. I'm going to have you just introduce yourself real quick. Tell us where we can find you, but do not introduce your characters. I'm going to give you a place in game to introduce your characters, and we're going to start in the upper left-hand corner with Jay.
Of course, it's me. Hello, everyone. My name is Jay, also known as Neofed3 on the socials or Neofed on Instagram. Yeah, hi. I'm so happy to be here, and I don't know what else to say. So take it away.
Sarah.
Oh, my turn? Oh, no.
We're going clockwise.
I am Alice X Ann. You can find me on all the socials with that specific name. I am here on Mini Terrain Domain every other Tuesday for Sky Metal Iron Gods. Definitely come and check that out. Hopefully we'll be streaming again soon on Sundays with Aesir Sin for our Hidings for All game, where I play Rain Moria, which is another fun character. She's a little druidy pyromaniac. Let's do this. I'm very excited. Next.
Back.
Oh, I don't know how I wasn't expecting this. My name is Zach. Zach Norman. I am the son of Jake, heir to the MTD Empire. I almost said it wrong, so I'm kind of
Yeah, I made a note.
blasting my inheritance away. I am the heir to the Empire. My time will come eventually. But in the meantime, I'm just hanging around. I'm Zach Norman on all the socials, but I don't do a lot on there. I play in various games. You might have seen me recently in a Dune game with Sarah and Michelle on the Erasmus Expeditions channel, Jeremy's channel, where we did some awesome role playing.
That was
Now
so
I'm here.
good.
That was such a fun game. If you haven't watched that and you don't know what I'm talking about, look up the Erasmus Expeditions. Look for the Dune game.
100%.
Watch it. It was awesome. I've never played Kids on Bikes before. And if I play my cards right, I might get out of here without ever playing it. Who knows?
Wait, what?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm going to throw it to Michelle.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Michelle Leanne. That's how I am on most of my socials, or my full name, Michelle Leanne Rowdia Sloan. I did recently start a TikTok called Just Call Me Gigi, where I'm thinking about doing like an advice thing for the younger generation that doesn't maybe have some of the wisdom I do as a not teenage person anymore, even though I will be a teenager tonight. You can find me on Erasmus Expedition because he gave me my first shot at this, and now I'm in love with doing this. And you can also find me as fangirling the Kids on Bikes that plays every Thursday.
Before I throw it to Craig, I apologize. My granddaughter insisted on coming out here and saying hi.
Oh, that's fine with me. Love babies.
So I don't know if you mentioned this, Michelle, but Michelle came to us via the Legends of Eleonora charity games, was introduced to the MTD community that way. If you're not already a part of the community, not just Michelle, we've had a few others come in by way of Star Trek fandom and Todd Stashwick. Somebody throw exclamation point Discord in the chat. We'd love to have you join our Discord. Craig.
Howdy. I am Craig. I'm not really on the socials too much. Just new to it, getting to it. I've known Jake for about 30 some years. And finally, we were walking together and he was telling me about the games. I started watching, really liked it. Multiple put me in coaches. And I did get a guest spot. I played TJ and started yanking all the emotions out of everybody. Take that. but no, I'm super excited to play. So wanted to get my name out there so I can continue to be asked to play because I really enjoy it.
Well, I'm excited to have you all here. I'm excited to play this game that started as just an idea in the back of my mind while watching watching a TV show. And here we are 3 weeks later. We're going to play this thing and see what happens. So, if you are all ready, I would like to welcome you all to Hell, Michigan. It is Friday, September 13th, 1985. And the late morning air is hazy with the already rising temperature as the last vestiges of summer fight against the coming autumn. The winding backcountry roads of southeastern Michigan are nearly deserted as the bright yellow Bluebird school bus comes into view. Black lettering on the side reads, Paradise Academy, Paradise, Michigan, Futurum Nondum Scriptum. Through the windshield, we see the graying hair and beard, stern but kind expression, and bright eyes behind the thick black frame glasses of Jake the bus driver, hunched over the large steering wheel. There's an old radio on the console to his left playing static-laden rock music that's barely audible over the growl of the engine. Immediately behind him sits Coach Ironside, wearing her trademark dark burgundy slacks and white polo with the Paradise Academy crest on the upper left. White sneakers and a silver whistle hanging on a black cord around her neck. She occasionally glances up from her paperback novel, Robert R. McCammon's Stinger, to look back over the 12 kids she's responsible for chaperoning on this field trip, the members of the Paradise Academy Culture Club. The kids in the back are all occupied in various activities of their own. Hazel Ford and Freya Murphy, two senior girls, are taking turns writing their names with the last names of different boys in their class in one of their notebooks, then barely containing fits of giggles. Liam Young has his nose buried in a comic book. Chase Smith, one of the younger freshmen in the club, stares observantly out the window. Some of the other kids, Owen Barnes, Ava Richards, and Lucy Phillips, are asleep with their heads propped against a window or curled into a ball on the small green seat with brass fixtures. Poppy Collins, kind sophomore, wearing a flowery t-shirt under her overalls, sits with her knees pressed up against the back of the seat in front of her. Next to her is Ellie Mae Pritchett. Ellie, please introduce your character. Describe your character and then tell us what Ellie is doing right now on this early morning bus trip. For a little more context, you left Paradise very early in the morning and you've been on the road for probably about 3 hours now.
Ellie Mae is a very typical tomboy farm girl. She has dirty blonde hair that's very messily put up in a bun. She already has straw and hay and probably some grass in her hair that's kind of tangled in there. She is wearing jeans with some that are ripped and just torn to hell, a really dirty t-shirt, and some steel toe boots. And right now, sitting on this bus for the last 3 hours, because honestly, This isn't terrible for her. Being up early, doing the farm work, doing farm chores, that is nothing for her with her horses and her cows and chickens and all sorts of stuff. So on this bus, as she's watching people sleep and she's hearing all the giggling, she hears this little and she very carefully opens her backpack. She goes, Jasper, be quiet. Wasn't sure if I could bring you here. Be quiet. Here. And she kind of reaches around this moving lump in her backpack and pulls out a piece of jerky and starts breaking it off and just kind of putting it into the backpack. And when she pulls her hand back, there's no more jerky.
As Ellie Mae feeds jerky to her backpack, we move through the bus and we see young Wilson Anderson. Jay, please describe Wilson and what he's doing currently. You're muted.
Hey, someone had to do it. Yes. So Wilson is a 13-year-old, relatively thin, little bit muscular at times. He's not wirely thin. He's not muscular. He's just toned. He exercises a little bit, but he's very much into reading a book right now next to his very large backpack. And it's like one of those traveling leather backpacks where it's, an explorer would have. And he is got very, very short blondish hair. He's like I said, he's your average 13-year-old. But he's reading his book, and it's in between a book that's talking about on the seat. It's mathematics and astrophysics book that's kind of like there. But the book that he's currently reading is a copy or a book by Warren Murphy and someone named Destroyers. And it's this little pocket book about this secret agent, and that he's just obsessed with this now type book. But he likes investigation books, so he's just really reading it, and he's sitting right behind the coach, and occasionally will pop up when the coach moves a little bit, and wants to ask the coach, are we there yet? But knows that he's not going to, because he doesn't want to be that kid.
He's so that kid.
I imagine at one point as he pops his head up and has that look of like he's about to say something, Coach Ironside turns her head to look back at everybody, catches you looking at her, starts to turn away, turns and looks at you as if daring you to say something. As she slowly holds her book up and turns the page and starts reading again. We will move along next to Jimmy Baxter. Greg?
Right. He's 16. He came from Battle Creek School. So he came from a city school, so he's like kind of got this air of the attitude of, okay, this is a farm school, what the hell ever, these are hicks. Even though that he has been spending time with Ellie, so being ride the horses and stuff, so he's kind of loosening his tone on that a little bit. But now Jimmy has long blonde hair, and in the 80s that he's got his comb, and that it was feathered on the sides. And he is wearing a leather jacket that is like, it's the zippers broke, it doesn't matter. He's wearing it in the summer, he's wearing it in the winter, it doesn't matter. He's wearing that, and he's got his headphones on, and he is got the music too loud, so everybody, basically it's bleeding out. Everybody hears Def Leppard just playing, and he's bobbing his head and going crazy to Def Leppard, and he's kind of keeps looking up to see if coach is looking or not, and kind of contemplating whether he's going to crack that window and try to smoke a cigarette in the back of the bus. He's like, so he's kind of like just waiting for that moment.
Before I throw it over to Michelle, the audience is begging to award you all with domain pops, despite the fact that I don't have the system set up. Tamiko has just gifted 5 community subs.
Tamiko, no way.
Carrie has
Yay.
just
Thank you, Tamiko.
donated 500 bits. So
Thank
you have
guys are
currently
awesome.
6 adversity tokens. We'll just call them what they are. You have 6 domain pops at your disposal. One of you will need to kind of help me keep track of that. I have it written down.
That.
What that means is, in addition to your own adversity tokens, you can use them. You can use them for bonuses, and because I know somebody's going to ask, if you spend 5 of them, you can make somebody roll on the D100 mystery grab bag table. I might have to modify things a little bit, but Jeremy says fireballs. Some people might be thinking of something else, though, if you're calling out fireball. So,
Oh.
so with that, and the generous donations of the audience, you have 6 pops at your disposal. Michelle, tell us about Jasmine.
Okay, I am playing Jasmine Daphne DeVoe. I'm from the Silicon Valley, and she is going to be totally a Valley girl. And she really, really, really wants to make a good impression here, like maybe a better impression than she made when she was at home. And we're going to pretend that this gray is platinum blonde, because I spent a lot of time on my hair to give it that beachy wave, and my colorful makeup, trying to be the 80s girl that I used to be. Let's see. I think that's good. And what she would be doing on the bus is, Dear Diary, I cannot believe I am on the bus with these people. It is so gnarly. I cannot believe this. I thought there was going to be culture and class and people would dress up to go to this museum, and not a single one of them is dressed up. And to top it off, Grandma made Uncle Gary be a chaperone. How gnarly is that? Oh my God. And the air conditioning on this bus doesn't even work. So like, I don't even know what to say about this place, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to give it my best. Everything will be its best.
Amazing. Finally, the camera makes its way all the way back up to the opposite seat on the front right of the bus. Across from Coach Ironside sits another adult, Gary. Zach, tell us about Gary.
Yeah. So Gary Felposh is a adult. He is 33 years old. He never amounted to much, and he still doesn't really feel like amounting to anything. So he's just kind of chilling out. Yeah, he got asked to come along on the field trip as a chaperone, which really isn't something that he wanted to be doing right now. It's like prime like nap day. It's a Friday. I don't have a job, so there's like nothing going on ever. So it would be a great time to be at home asleep. And so Gary's kind of carried that into the bus. He normally wears some kind of dirty flannel, and he has a ratty t-shirt and frayed jeans and worn out sneakers and a pair of sunglasses on, and he kind of looks like if Steve Zahn played Shaggy in a Scooby-Doo movie. And so he's got his flannel off, and he's on the bus, and he's got it bunched up under his shoulder, and that's his pillow. And he is fast asleep, but like half asleep, really. He's kind of eavesdropping on all the little kids who won't shut up, all the teenagers, and every once in a while he thinks that his sunglasses have completely shielded his eyes, so he steals a couple glances over at Coach Ironside. just to see what she's up to and if she's looking at him at all.
Coach Ironside is doing a fantastic job of not looking at you even once.
Every time Gary looks over, in his head, he's like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, whatever.
You hear from somewhere around the middle of the bus, the other 13-year-old, Chase, suddenly calls out, "Hey everyone, look! We're all going to hell!" And some of the other kids start laughing. Jake, the bus driver, smirks but doesn't say anything as the bus rolls past the brightly painted sign that reads in tall flaming letters, "Hell, Michigan."
Yeah.
I thought we left there.
Suddenly, BAM! There's a loud banging sound as an explosion and the sound of tearing metal shakes the entire bus. Smoke erupts from the engine and the steering wheel jerks violently as Jake, the bus driver, struggles to keep the bus steady. The kids, all of you, are thrown violently against your seats, gasping and shouting as the bus swerves, tires skidding on the gravel shoulder of the road. Jake, the bus driver's knuckles are white, his eyes wide behind his glasses. He wrenches the wheels back and forth to the side as the bus fishtails dangerously. "Hold on to your... Everybody hang on tight," Coach Ironside yells out, barely concealing her own panic. The bus groans loudly and then screeches to a halt in a gravel parking lot in front of an auto repair garage with its name painted above the open bay doors in a style that mimics the Hot Wheels logo, "Hell on Wheels." And then below it says gas, garage gas and groceries. The engine sputters once more before dying completely, leaving behind only the crackle and ping of cooling metal and the heavy silence of stunned passengers. Welcome to Hell, Michigan. I would like you all to make a grit check, please.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I gotta look at what my.
I am actually going to roll for Coach Ironside.
Grit, D6.
So I'm just rolling my die
So-
for that score, right?
Yep. So whatever your dice indicator is for that score, you just roll that. I have a DC set. I am rolling for Coach Ironside. So if you want to see what I roll, I will do so in front of all of you by doing this.
Oh, snap. Oh, whoa, good. Get it off me. That almost
does
hit me,
not
man.
bode well for Coach Ironside. What'd everybody get? I'm seeing a 3 for Jimmy, a 6 for Gary, a 2 for Coach. Ellie Mae got a 1.
Oh, no.
Wilson got
Zero
a 5.
grit.
What is everybody's grit? Good lord.
Listen.
I'm
She's
maxed
trying
out.
to protect the skunk. Okay.
Unfortunately, Gary is the only one who passed that grit check. What this means... So the DC was exactly 6. What this means is all of you gain 1 adversity token except for Gary, because you failed.
Woohoo!
You also all gain 1 physical consequence.
Uh-oh.
The duration is equal to how far you missed the DC by. Jimmy, you have a physical consequence for the next in-game 3 hours. Wilson for 1 hour. 2 hours for Jasmine. Ellie Mae for the next 5 hours. Please make a note of that in your consequences. That means when you make physical checks, you will be doing so with a -2. I guess I could get that die off your face. There you go.
Yoinks.
As all of you, Gary, next to you in the aisle, Coach Ironside has basically unceremoniously fallen at your feet. Pretty much all of the kids in the back have been jarred out of their seats. A couple of them that were sleeping are waking up, wondering what's happening. Everybody's a bit shocked. What are you all doing?
Wilson is looking around and he's grabbing his books that kind of fell off and his backpack kind of spilled off in front of him as she's rubbing his shoulder as he kind of like got smacked into that metal side of the bus seat. But he kind of knew something. He reacted well, but he kind of bumped in and kind of braced himself. But his backpack kind of fell over, and he's scooping up all these little items that he had, a toolkit. You notice that there's a birthday card that says "Happy Birthday, son," and it's today. His birthday is today. As he puts the card back into his backpack and all the other stuff, and he's just kind of like, "Anyone dead? I wonder if anyone's dead." No, and just what he does.
Yeah, Jimmy's going to, in true 1980s Dukes of Hazzard fashion, he's going to be like, "We need to get out of here before this thing blows up." And starts helping kids up and go, "Let's get out of here." He helps Ellie Mae up, starts helping kids, and it's like, "We need to get out of here."
Coach Ironside's immediately kind of picking herself up and looking for the first time at you, Gary. Make sure all the boys get together and stop Jimmy from trying to take control. And she immediately starts checking in on some of the girls. She does look over, glances over at you, Wilson, and kind of pointedly looks at you, Gary, and just points at the sprawled Wilson as if do something about this, as she heads towards the back and starts attending to some of the girls that are in disarray. I couldn't think of the word.
Yeah. Gary is he kind of looks at Wilson and then looks at the bus driver Jake and is like, "Dude, what the hell happened, man?"
I don't know. Look, you guys are the chaperones. You take care of the kids here. I'm gonna go in there. It's kind of fortuitous that we stopped in front of a garage. Maybe they can help. And
Did you check the bus? Maybe some damage or whatever. Is it a tire? Is it a axle? We should be able to check it.
Jimmy
Did
thinks
you go
we're gonna
outside?
blow up. And
Well, we're not going to blow up. The gas
Apparently
is-
Wilson
Move!
thinks-
Move!
we're probably
Jimmy,
Off
quit
the
it.
bus! Move!
Jimmy,
we're probably
dude,
not gonna blow up.
Dude, just take it easy, man. We're not gonna blow up. Just sit down.
You know what?
I'm
Maybe
definitely not sitting down in a bus that's about to explode.
It's
Let's
not
it's
go.
not
blow
going to
up,
explode.
man.
And then as he says that, he immediately, Jake kind of turns his back to everybody, but leans towards you, Gary, and goes, "I'm not entirely sure it's explode. Maybe get the kids off the bus." And he pulls the lever and opens the door, and he heads down and immediately starts crossing the parking lot where you can see that an individual is already coming out of the a mechanic. Looks to be probably about Gary's age, somewhere in his 30s.
Now.
Hispanic man wearing overalls and kind of wiping his hand with his rag as he kind of walks over and meets Jake the bus driver in the middle of this sort of open parking lot. So he's got that in hand. The rest of you continue.
I would be like,
Right.
"Oh my God, Uncle Gary, I'm stuck." Jasmine is stuck underneath one of the seats on one of the heads of a screw has caught her tweed suit and she's stuck underneath there and she certainly doesn't want to rip her suit. "I need help. Like, come on."
There's no time. We need to get off this bus.
Jimmy, if you
Just
want to be
leave
a
her.
help, why don't you get Jasmine out from under that seat? Everyone get off the bus
Ew.
in an orderly fashion. You guys have done this before; it'll be fine. And Gary goes out the normal front door
Gary,
of the bus.
I want you to make a charm check.
I'm sorry, Grandma.
Jimmy, I want you to make a charm check.
Yeah.
Where'd my... There it is.
Oh my gosh, I rolled a 12. I have a D12,
wow.
so that's 12 on the 12.
All right, this is
Yeah, well, unless I explode, you got me on that one.
well. You're not versing each other.
Oh, okay. Oh, I got a 10 and I exploded.
Okay,
How do you explode?
13.
What is this about?
it's a lucky break. If you max your die roll out, then you roll again.
Oh, I've done that every time so far. Should I be exploding?
See, this is why you show up to the session 0.
Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, hold on.
I also told you this when we went over the rules.
Boom!
Listen.
As a reminder, when you roll your dice, if you roll your maximum value, it's called a lucky break. The dice explodes, not the bus, and you get more. You get to roll more and add to it.
All right, I rolled a 21 on charm, and for what it's worth, my grit roll would have been 11 instead
Okay.
of 6.
Well, you still managed to stay on your feet.
Phew.
Jimmy, what did you get for your charm roll?
13.
Okay. As you're telling people to get off the bus, and Gary, you're kind of handling it in a much calmer fashion. You can see that the 14-year-old Owen Barnes, who was one of the ones asleep, and Ava Richards, they were about to crack open the emergency exit out the back of the bus, the one that sets the alarm off. And fortunately, cooler heads prevail, and they decide to ignore Jimmy and kind of push past him as the rest of the kids start moving calmly towards the exit.
Gary's gonna go into the actual store, and he's gonna look for a soda.
As you get off the bus and start to head towards the store, you hear a lot. I would do it, and I know it would immediately get gated. You hear Coach Ironside's whistle.
It's like razors being shoved into my ears. It's the worst sound ever. Like, ow!
She's also standing literally right behind you when she does it.
Dude,
Where are you going?
I'm
Oh.
thirsty. I'm
Do you-
split in half.
do you-
Help! Ah!
Do you not realize that we are responsible for these kids?
You're responsible for these kids.
We are responsible for these kids.
You got this. And I go into the store.
Okay. So Gary just leaves Coach Ironside. I need you to make a charm check versus Coach Ironside.
Ooh.
I'm getting all my high rolls out at the start of the game. We have a 10.
Well, that looks like an explosion.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
So an 8 so far.
Oh.
That's an 11.
Just beat me.
What is Gary's middle name?
Alan.
Gary Allen Feldposh. You get back here right now and do the job you were brought here for. Or I'm telling Principal Gunnarsson.
Fine. But I'm thirsty. And I'm getting a drink.
Once we get a count of all of the kids, we can get everybody together and get refreshments if we need to. We have no idea how long we're going to be here. And she immediately starts looking over everybody. Ellie Mae, you're one of the only ones that I haven't heard from. What's Ellie Mae doing in all of this kerfuffle?
I did not want to interrupt. So I think that with the whole, that beautiful one that I got, Ellie Mae whacked her head hard against that window. So she's probably just like, oh, but she has her backpack cradled against her and her ears are ringing and she's looking around and it's almost like everything around her is moving too fast. And she's hearing yelling and screeching and she just wants to get off this bus. And when she manages to get off, she just instantly brings herself to the ground. She doesn't care about getting dirty. So she instantly just brings herself to the ground. And when she does, her grip on her backpack loosens and Jasper, her skunk, comes crawling out and begins to like check her over, and he's kind of making these little like chirping, chittering sounds, and he's curling around her head. And so that's what she's not even talking to anybody. Like Jimmy helped her up, and if he saw her face, she's like 1,000 miles away.
He was too preoccupied with getting everybody off the bus.
I think Jasmine is going to go ahead and let her skirt rip, but she's going to have a cut down the back of her thigh while she gets out and scrambles to find her diary because it has slipped away from her, and it is crucially important that no one on this bus finds her diary.
As everybody is continuing in their various ways to get off the bus, after a few moments, Ellie Mae, you are able to sort of gather your wits about you and gather up Jasper, and you are the last person to get off the bus. I would like everybody, this is going to be a tiered check. This means it's not a pass-fail. It means I'm looking for whoever gets the highest roll, or rather I'm looking at the value of the rolls. The higher the better. I would like everybody to make a brains check.
You can see what my brains are.
This is mental, so you do not have to use your consequence.
D10.
That tracks. That tracks given your injury.
I have a D4.
As Coop likes to say, I have a D4 brains.
Rocking the D4.
Okay. And we got a 3, 4, a 6, and a 9. So Jasmine, it is you who notices as you exit the bus. Now, I want to go back to something you said. Were you scrambling around looking for your diary?
Yes.
It's easy enough to find with everybody pretty much getting off the bus. You kind of find it a few rows up underneath one of the seats. And as you're exiting the bus, you actually kind of do a double take as you look through the windshield and you see where the smoke is billowing out from the engine compartment. There is a softball-sized hole through the hood of the bus. Like, it looks like something punctured the hood and into the engine of this bus.
Okay. Jasmine would, of course, throw her backpack over her shoulder. She is gripping death grip to her diary and runs off the bus and be like, oh my God, guys, do you totally have hail in the middle of summer? What the hell is going on? There's like a giant hole in the bus. This is insane. California, you don't have to deal with this kind of stuff.
This is some Red Dawn shit right here. This is fucking Russians. I know it.
Hey man,
Oh, you
you
think it's a
gotta watch your
missile?
mouth, dude. I hate to be that guy, but like, you gotta watch your mouth, kid.
Dude, you are that guy. Whatever.
It Gary starts to like sniff. He's like, Jimmy, did you bring pot with you?
Did you need some?
Dude,
Hey,
first of
so
all,
I go like this.
Gary's just there's like are you kidding me, dude? And then he sees what he smells as this skunk is like running free. Like, what
He's
the?
descented. Leave him alone.
What do I smell then?
It's
Jimmy,
probably
that
your-
is you.
It's probably your weed.
Listen, man, I don't bring that shit with me here. I mean, stuff.
Uncle Gary doesn't have enough money to buy his own.
Sh-
Just saying.
Err.
Wilson,
I think she's right.
while they're bickering about weed, you had the second highest roll. You notice as the last couple kids are coming off the bus and everybody's sort of gathering out in this open parking lot. First off, everybody kind of sees that with Jasmine's exclamation, both Jake the bus driver and the garage mechanic come over to take a look, and the mechanic had gone back in and he's come out with a stepladder. As he climbs up on it and looks at the hood of the bus where he sees this hole puncturing through it, and he just looks at it and he's like, Madre de Dios. And
Is that Russian?
It's not Russian.
Dude,
As I'm
oh
he-
my god.
How do you know?
Spanish.
Hey, man, that's racist.
he undoes the hood, lifting it, and as he does so, a big burst of steam as he kind of swats his rag around. And with the hood up, a couple people can get a glimpse. You can see that the engine block itself is shredded. Whatever went through the hood went all the way through the engine block. But none of that is what you noticed in particular, Wilson. You did notice this, but it's not the specific thing. Just towards the back of the bus, where it's kind of come to stop in this big open gravel parking lot, near the front of this parking lot, about 10 feet from the edge of the road, is a single telephone pole, and lined up along kind of parallel to the road. In fact, the bus just missed by about maybe 8 feet running into this. There is a row of a couple dozen used bicycles. There's an old rope that's kind of looped through them, and there's a for sale sign hanging off of it. Next to that, there is one of those billboards that's like got a metal frame. It's set up out in front. It's designed so that when the wind blows, it kind of goes back and forth.
Mhm.
And on the billboard is this it's an advertisement showing a 14-year-old redheaded girl with green eyes, freckles. She's got 2 thick braids, smiling very broadly and holding up a bottle of Werner's ginger ale. You notice this girl in this advertisement looks stunningly like Poppy, one of your classmates, Poppy Collins, who had been sitting next to Ellie Mae. In fact, Poppy is standing in front of this billboard, and she's kind of slightly hunched over, and you can see that she's kind of shaking a little bit.
I'm kind of walking over to that area. Kind of got the backpack on, and Poppy, right? Poppy, are you okay? Do you need me to get an adult?
And the rest of you the other four of you are all, the way you're standing out around this bus, it's kind of like all the other kids are gathered over here, and we see as Wilson is walking forward, and we kind of see staggered around the parking lot, all within view of this. You kind of hear Wilson saying Poppy as he walks towards her. She doesn't say anything at first, Wilson.
I kind of walk in front of her, like in between where the billboard is, and kind of look to see.
As you start to walk, you get about partway around, and she kind of turns towards you and everybody else. And as she turns around, you see her she's kind of twitching a little bit. And she says in a voice that is not her own voice, "Help me, please." And her eyes roll back in her head, and she collapses in convulsions on the ground.
Wilson would fall to the ground, and this is one of the first times anyone has ever seen him scared. Normally he's very cool and level-headed, even in like most emergencies. He's like the kid that like is cool-headed. He's the one that's basically at the door making sure everyone's through. He was when everyone's getting off the bus, he was counting numbers to making sure, everyone's accounted for to give it to the coach. But right now he just falls to the ground. His hands kind of on his backhands, just looking up, kind of shaking and scared.
Dude, I saw this on A-Team. I think she needs CPR. Does anybody know CPR?
Brenda?
Jasmine's gonna run over there. I have a first aid kit in my backpack. Let me get it out. What's going on?
She needs CPR. Just like D.A. Baracus did. When he collapsed when he couldn't get, when he can't get on the plane. It's like that, but he needs to be revived. I think she needs CPR.
I think Ellie Mae would run over and attempt to, like, maybe she's seen something like this with like a dog or something like that, and she's gonna try to attempt to kind of like just kind of tip her onto her side.
I would like you to make a brains check.
There is something I can do here.
Yeah, I was always
with
be
my
aware of
knack.
your strengths and your knacks. What knack do you have?
First aid.
Now, just remember, your knack can only be used once per session
Mm-hmm.
to gain an automatic 10 without rolling.
Okay.
It's fine if you want to use it now.
I'll roll it. I'll save it. Oh, dice. Oh, I got a 6. And a 2 for 8.
Okay. As you kind of push through the other kids and Gary standing there helplessly calling for Brenda, I imagine Gary just sort of staring at the situation going, Brenda, Brenda. And she's completely paying attention to some of these other kids and making sure they're all right. Ellie Mae comes in and successfully gets Poppy sort of turned onto her side, and she actually stops convulsing. Everybody please make me a brains check. I would like one brains check, please. This is a tiered check. While they're rolling, the tiered checks, as I said, are usually to determine who notices something first or who succeeds at something first, whereas regular skill checks have a DC. Yes, brains.
Brains, okay. 7 out of 10.
If you haven't caught on to it yet, I tend to use brains as sort of a perception check. Need to check something real quick. I'm gonna say it's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter because this wasn't a DC check. But if that's your fear and you're seeing it in front of you, that's gonna be a -3, which would knock you down to a 12, Wilson. But it's as you look away from this, trying not to see what's happening as your fear is being realized. You see something that could very well be a brand new fear. Because it's something that you've never seen before. As the sky has been steadily getting dark, as what looks like storm clouds are rolling in fast, and a deep rumbling thunder begins to fill the air. From within the largest of these roiling black clouds, Wilson, you see suddenly an ominous red light. As the clouds part, and a large black obelisk with red lines of light along its length emerges, hovering impossibly in the air above town.
Holy shit, it is the Russians.
I think you're right, Jimmy.
All around you, you can hear doors of some of the nearby businesses are opening up, and there's a handful of locals are starting to come out. Even across the street, there's a couple. There's a trailer, and then in between a couple of houses, people are coming out and craning their necks, looking up at the sky and muttering to one another. What are the rest of you doing as you begin to notice this?
I think
We
my
gotta get
instinct
her
is going to be to hide. We need to get someplace to hide, whatever the hell that is coming. I've seen enough movies. Like, this is not going to be good. Maybe we should get back on the bus. Can we make the bus go? Somebody got a car. Maybe this guy will sell us a car. I have my allowance. I can pay for a new car. Let's just get it and go.
The bus is gonna explode.
Oh my God.
Dude, I think it is like Red Dawn.
I told you.
I think
What the
Ellie Mae
hell?
is gonna try and now that all the convulsing has ceased, she is actually going to try and kind of like bridal carry Poppy to try and get her inside.
You don't even get to that point as Poppy suddenly sits bolt upright, looks
Okay.
right in your face, Ellie, and says, "He's here."
Oh boy.
Oh,
Ah.
What the
Who is
fuck?
it's Jason Voorhees.
It's
Who is he?
it's
Been
the
watching
Reaper. He's here for me.
Then let's get the hell out of here.
The Reaper? What?
We
The
need
the obelisk is now starting to descend out of the
Ellie,
clouds.
grab her
clouds.
arm. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Grab
As-
her up under the arm, and Ellie, you got that side. Let's go.
You
Yeah,
see,
she's
as you're scrambling, it is descending what looks to be maybe a half mile to a mile to the north of where you are. It's getting lower and lower, and
How big is it? Did you say that?
as it gets further down, this thing is probably Statue of Liberty sized. It's tall enough that as it descends, you can see it before it even fully lands on the ground. You can still see the top of it. And you all feel a rumble through the ground as it presumably makes touchdown somewhere north. You've lost sight of it. a red beam shoots up into the sky a few 100 feet high, and all of a sudden it goes and you watch as in every direction this red light begins to move across in a slightly spherical shape, as in a distance, it's hard to tell, but it looks like it's maybe a mile or more in every direction of this thing. You see this red light coming down, and in fact, the city limit sign is less than 200 yards away down the road, and you see just past the city limit sign as this red light goes zzz, you hear the cracking of trees alongside the road as this red light cuts through them like a knife through butter, and
Oh, hell no.
boughs of the tree are falling to the ground. The light hits the ground, and then it kind of sends a shockwave up through it, and then it fades into almost perfect transparency.
I was gonna start booking it, but that doesn't look like a good idea anymore.
You can't run from the Reaper.
Watch me.
Oh, we sure as hell can try.
Wait, does he wants you?
That's what she said.
Should we leave her here?
Absolutely
Oh my
not.
God, no.
I
Bad
mean-
idea.
What? I was kidding. I was kidding.
So funny.
I mean,
Uncle Gary.
Or Gary and Jimmy. Gary, do not make me whale you with another ball, okay? I have rocks here this time.
If you throw a rock at me, it will be the last thing you do.
Try me. I bet
I-
I could take you, old man.
I step in between him and go, "Yeah, Gary."
Dude.
I will throw a rock at you too for trying to leave Bobby behind.
Gary looks
I'll
at
push you off that
Jimmy
horse
like,
next
what
time.
the hell, man? I thought we were bros.
Ellie Mae,
Dude, I was trying to break the tension. Let's go.
Ellie Mae, as you say that, and Wilson, you're hearing this as Poppy says to Ellie Mae, I will keep Poppy safe.
You will.
Who said that?
I am Serafina.
Okay, this is real weird. Am I unconscious? This is real weird, guys. Like, how
No,
are we
you're
all in
not.
the same dream?
Let me pinch you.
Ow!
Hey, you wanted to make sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Uncle Gary needs to pick her up.
You just
Yeah, Uncle
hear,
Gary.
Yeah, hold on. I don't think
you
that's...
just
I-
hear the skunk growling.
I can stand up on my own. And
I'll do that.
Poppy,
Fine.
who is not Poppy, stands shakily to her feet and takes a hesitant step, almost like a newborn foal walking for the first time. She takes another step.
are you demon or something? Or
I'm not used to having only two legs to walk on.
Only
I've
two?
seen her.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what
Oh, wait. E.T.
I don't know what
Phone
is
home?
demon.
Possessing her though.
This is more aliens.
I don't want to be in Aliens. That movie was horrifying. I don't want to be in Aliens.
I don't want to get
Don't eat
dissolved by
anything
a
she
red
gives
light.
you. Did you guys eat anything?
I don't want to.
Oh.
I don't want to gonna have the thing come out
I
of
ate
my
a
chest.
burger.
Well, you're definitely gonna have stuff come out of your chest.
Jesus.
What?
No.
Jimmy, what the hell?
What is that supposed to mean?
Oh, I mean,
No.
well, I
Nice.
did see some mushrooms in his bag.
Hey, hold on.
What?
What are you talking about?
He knows what I'm
Okay, we
talking
need to
about.
stop arguing and make a plan.
We just need to. I think we need to get into either. I think the garage is probably one of the safer places because it's a lot of stuff that whatever that is has to get into.
As you're turning around to look, a couple things are going to happen here. One, you're going to see that there's more than just the garage here. You're able to start seeing some of the nearby businesses. In fact, you're getting a sense that the quote-unquote town of Hell, Michigan is very small. In fact, you might just be looking at the town in its entirety or near entirety. Of course, you're standing in front of Hell on Wheels, the garage. There's the equivalent of a parking lot between this and the building next to it, which is the Spirits of Hell Saloon, local bar. On the other side of the garage is the Hellhole Diner. And on the other side of the Hellhole Diner, or rather in a shared parking lot, is a building that has 3 signs on it. It's a single building, but it says Colder Than Hell Ice Cream, Screams from Hell Souvenirs, and Hell's Post Office.
Shouldn't we call somebody or something, like the cops or?
As you say this, Jimmy, you hear the sound of approaching helicopters.
We got to get out of sight. That's the Russians, dude.
Okay, maybe you are right. Maybe this is Red Dawn.
Wait, no, hold on. If
There's some
that
bikes
is
over
the
here.
Russians,
There's some bikes.
that is us.
That is
All
a
right.
fantastic idea, Wilson.
As you say
Get on
that,
the
Gary,
bikes.
Where's the
see-
Spanish guy?
you see 2 black helicopters flying very low, come up over the top of the trees. One is sort of leading the other one as they're flying towards the town.
All right. You guys ready for a real fire show?
And as you say, are you ready for a real fire show? The first helicopter crumples and explodes in a ball of fire as it hits the transparent dome.
Oh my god.
The second chopper barely flares up, and you actually see the rotors clip the dome as you see this sort of shock waves and sparks as it veers off to the side, does a spin, and the pilot is able to recover, and they sort of at the same time there's about a half a dozen black government vehicles that are coming screaming down the road, and before anybody has a chance to react, the first 2 vehicles slam at 55 miles an hour into the dome. The other vehicles come to a screaming halt behind them, doing just about running into each other. But they are on the other side of this barrier. What would you all like to do now?
Nobody look at those. Nobody look. You're not supposed to look at dead people. Don't look at those.
Did you guys see that?
No, nobody saw
totally.
anything. No,
I mean,
Oh my
It's-
God.
it's,
but
we're
how
fine.
can we not look?
Okay, we're not
Gary,
fine.
dead
We're
people are
screwed.
just-
We're all screwed.
It's
I don't-
normal to look at dead people.
It's-
They're all around. So,
It's-
it's not scary.
Hold on. No, that's not normal. They're not all
Death
around.
is a normal part of life. It's just another
Will-
stage.
Wilson,
People
you
don't
shut
crash
up,
cars
man.
into nothing. Oh
Oh.
my god.
It's
Like,
just a
we're
shell.
inside.
I mean,
I'm gonna make you just a shell, man. Now's not the time.
Oh my god. How are we gonna get
Are
out?
you threatening him?
I'll threaten you too. Guy, I gotta hold on.
Now,
This is Ironsides!
Poppy,
He just like steps away, like, okay.
Poppy,
Gary's
who
being a douche!
Poppy,
you
who is
broke the
Serafina.
teacher again.
Where
Poppy, who is
the
Serafina, turns to Ellie and says, "Am I safe to assume that you're in charge?"
coach?
Yes, I am.
Of just this tiny group of idiots right here?
Hey,
Maybe
who's calling you an idiot?
F.
I was gonna say, I can't say that. There are only 2 idiots here right now.
Okay.
Yeah, Gary.
One of which is an actual
Hey.
idiot. One of which I'm a little irritated with right now. So,
Which ones are the
Sure.
idiots?
and she points to Gary and Jimmy.
For
I-
sure.
I
Wait,
look behind me
wait.
like she's pointing to somebody else.
Noted.
No, you man. Which one of us is the actual idiot?
Who
Does
do
it
you
really
think?
matter right now?
Oh, Jimmy, you guys screwed on this. Look, I gotta go find Coach Ironside.
Are you and your
Coach?
idiot
Brenda?
Are you and your idiot friends able to help me?
Yes. We can try anyway. I mean, I've gotten out of some pretty sticky situations on the farm, so I think we can get this done.
I need
And Jasper will help too. And there's just this skunk just kind of like curled around the back of her neck like a fur scarf.
I agree. I totally think Ellie has probably got the most like experience because she like deals with death and like guts and dirt and stuff like that.
I need
I mean, that's not all what farm is, but okay.
I need-
Yeah, sure.
I need help.
I got your
like-
back, Ellie. What do you need?
Can we make a plan
Okay,
and
can
start
we-
moving?
Can we calm down so I can hear what this lovely thing has to say?
Possessed person is?
Like, okay.
Call her a thing.
Possession. That's a very accurate description of what is happening.
Well, at least you're
No.
not you're not evil, right?
Oh, great.
Dude, they
I
might not
don't-
even have a. She could have a totally different concept of evil. We don't know.
I'm not
That's
evil.
true. It could be subjective.
The Reaper
Okay.
is evil.
Okay. What?
Okay, okay,
Can-
okay.
May I
That's
ask,
totes believable.
why is it after you?
It has a bounty on me.
How much?
What did you do wrong? Why is he after
Blaming.
you?
I am the
Listen,
last of
Jimmy,
my
like,
kind.
really?
Oh my god.
I just
Oh,
wanted to know how like bad he wants to get her. If it's a lot, then it's gonna be more aggressive, right?
Like
The
she's gonna
Reaper
go
will stop at
extinct.
nothing to get to me. I
That
need to
sounds like a
recover.
lot of.
I need to recover my ship, recharge it, and then
And
I can
where is
leave.
that?
I hope it's inside the dome.
Ask her if she's Russian.
I'm not going to ask her if she's Russian. Shut up.
I
Oh,
am.
like there's
I am in a
Russian
hurry.
demons. Ugh.
I would
Can you
like.
tell me where the ship is?
I would like. First, for this one, I'm gonna have Sarah roll me a D100.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, let me pull this out and be scared. At
I use
81.
D100s for so many things that I love that everybody's reaction is to be afraid when I ask for a
Right.
D100 roll.
never
We're
been
in
good.
hell on Friday the 13th. We should
Yes.
be afeared.
At an 81.
An 81. Okay, perfect.
Oh, it's dead silence. Oh, that felt creepy.
That was creepy.
I mean,
As-
Jake the all powerful.
She says, "The first thing is I need your help recovering my ship.
Mm-hmm.
Should be nearby where I crashed."
Okay.
As she says that, and everybody kind of instinctively glances around, from the front of the bus, you hear the mechanic, who's on his stepladder looking into the engine compartment. You can see on his overalls is the name tag Javier. And Javier says, "What in the hell? I have never seen anything like this." "Well, I don't know how it happened, but I think I know what damaged our bus." And you hear the sound of metal, sort of pinging sound, as he holds up what is a softball-sized, seamless, chrome metallic sphere.
Oh boy.
And Serafina says, "That's it. That's my ship." And that's where we're going to take a break. And I'm not even going to keep this a secret from anybody. There is absolutely no way this is a one shot.
Oh, I'm so
You guys
torn.
are so much into character, and I love it. I can pretty much guarantee this is a 3-shot. So tonight will be Act 1.
Hell yes.
So with that knowledge, we are going to go. We're going to go
Good
in.
job, everybody.
We're going to go
I
in.
have to I have to shout out Jeremy's comment in chat. What is this? A ship for ants?
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and take about a 10-minute break. I do want to say thank you to everybody who's tuned in so far. Hope you're enjoying the show, and please do stick around. You guys have awarded them 6 domain pops that I'm sure they're going to absolutely begin needing
Very
every little
exciting.
bit of help they can get as we move officially into the meat of the story. So with that, we're going to go ahead and take about 10 minutes. We will see you on the other side. And we're back. What would you guys like to do? You've just learned that you need to that this person, this extraterrestrial named Serafina, has essentially taken over Poppy's body and need your help to get her spacecraft, which has just been pulled out of the engine block, and needs to recharge it in the hopes of escaping before the Reaper can collect his bounty on her.
Guys, like, how heavy is that thing? Like, can anyone in our group just hold it, or is it like super heavy?
Well, clearly the mechanic's holding it, so it's not too heavy. But we should be careful. Wilson suddenly is like intrigued because this is a treasure hunt now, which he is like, yes. So like, what type of energy are you? Does it have to be AC, or is there a certain wattage that you need to be able to repower your ship, or is it like crystals, or is it like electricity, or is it or even magnets? Do you need the magnet power to be able to what type of power sources are you going to need to be able to
Wilson,
Wilson.
one question at a time.
We can ask these questions after we get it. Hey, Wilson, I think you should talk to the mechanic guy, and I think Javier, I think you should go talk to him. Ask him all about the engine, and then somehow the two of you, and she points to Gary and Jimmy, you guys get that from him.
Get what?
The ship.
Oh, come
Zoe.
on. I'm not that gullible. And he turned around and actually walks over to Javier and the bus.
I don't know what that means.
Excuse me,
no.
Mechanic, your name, Mr. Javier, right?
My name is Javier.
Yes. I'm sorry to disturb you, Mr. So you came from the mechanic car. did you determine the damage to the engine? Is it a belt or was it like something with the spark plugs?
The sparks plugs. I think there's one or two of those left.
Okay. The item that's in your
The
hand,
belt,
are
the
you,
engine block, the gaskets, the valves, the spark plugs, the carburetor. Pretty much
my God,
everything from the
Poindexter-
top to almost all the way to the bottom is completely destroyed.
And you said this item you found in it.
I mean, it looks like the same size as the hole. This clearly is what passed through.
Is it heavy or hot?
Not hot to the touch. It's actually quite cold now that I think about it.
Here, I've got something in my backpack. Let me. Can I take a measurement of it?
He kind of looks at you a little skeptically. I want to have you make a contested charm check.
All right.
Charm. Hold on, I need to look up stats.
Oh my God, Poindexter is going to be talking to him forever.
That's why I asked one of you two to go get it while he just.
What did I say? That's a charm check.
Yes, you
I
said
Okay.
charm.
Listen.
So this will be contested.
All right, here we go.
This is why you get bucked off horses.
What are-
'cause
what are you-
don't listen.
What are you rolling for charm?
That was one time.
I'm rolling a D12.
I
Okay.
will never let you live that down.
And disappointed in my wonderful dice that I have strewed here.
What did you get?
A 5.
A 5. Okay, I will roll my d6. Let me check his strengths real quick.
As I'm pulling out like a voltage meter.
Has anybody seen Coach?
The Javier looks at you kind of skeptically for a moment, and it's at that moment that Jake the bus driver comes walking back where he's been over talking to Coach Ironside. Comes walking back over and he goes, "So, you got any idea what it's going to take to fix this thing? A couple hours?"
Uncle
again,
Harry, go talk to the coach.
again, Javier goes,
She's cold.
couple hours. Even if there wasn't that weird thing that fell from the sky and that light that seems to, well, have put us in some kind of a aquarium or whatever, you're looking at least 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks worth of work. You're not getting out of here without a tow. And he sort of, Jake the bus driver's not happy at all and starts to argue with Javier, who almost absent-mindedly, as he steps down the ladder, hands this sphere to you, Wilson.
Yes.
And I take
It's
it
surprisingly light.
and I just kind of turn around with my backpack on and just kind of put it to my chest and I just walk like all big. Like,
I got it from an adult.
I'm gonna go over to Coach Ironside and just kind of like, first I'm shaken by just everything, and as I come closer to the coach, I get a little more sheepish, and I like put my hands in my pockets. I'm like,
What?
so what the hell?
Right?
That was a smooth move there, Jesus.
Shut the hell up, Jimmy!
You clearly have that group under control.
Yeah, sure.
Why don't you stay with those kids? I'm going to take these kids into the... And she kind of glances over to the Spirits of Hell Saloon and then turns the other direction and says, I'm going to take them over to the diner. I think that's going to be the best bet. And if you can get your kids wrangled up and maybe take them to the diner, or there's ice cream over there.
Did you, with the girl, you hear all that?
Gary, I'm literally letting you only take slightly less than half of the kids. And I'm taking all the other ones and dealing with him. As she kind of thumbs or points her thumb over at Jake the bus driver. Whatever it is, I'm sure you can deal with it.
Yeah, but well, it's this is. Look, man, I'm not even supposed to be here.
I don't
It
think
was
he's
not-
letting her back.
If it was... I didn't want you here either.
Ouch.
I'm going to the diner with these kids.
I'll second
Find
that.
somewhere that's not the
doesn't know
diner
me.
to take the other kids. Do you think you can handle that?
Whatever, man. He just like turns heel and saunters back over to the group of kids and it's like
Make it. I want you to make a charm check real quick.
the war. What's my charm? D12. How about an 11?
This is what I'm rolling for Coach Ironside's charm.
What the hell?
And-
Oh man.
okay.
I did not, by the way, expect there to be a 20. I was expecting something much lower.
Yeah.
There's no Emilio Estevez, so.
So this actually works out in your favor. As she goes, as you start to turn away, and she goes, "Hey."
Huh?
And she takes a step towards you, and she reaches inside her. She has a backpack that's like a JanSport with the Paradise Academy logo on it, crest. And she reaches in and she goes, "I grabbed you one of these," and she hands you a bottle of Verner's.
Did you bring enough for everyone?
And then she
Oh
turns
my
and
God.
she turns and walks back towards the other kids that she's taking care of and starts ushering them towards the Hellhole Diner.
Gary's like, do you want change? I got, and he starts like rifling through his pockets, and he's like, no, and pulls out like a receipt. No,
She just
pulls
goes,
out a
"Don't."
pencil. And,
Well,
well,
I'm
I
gonna
just,
run over to Gary and be like, "Uncle Gary, can you just stop?
but don't, and then
Just stop,
he's
just stop."
like, there's like a tear in his pocket, and just coins spill out over the pavement. He's like, oh man, that was my last $3.
That is not $3. That's like $1.50, if that.
What?
it's
No, these
pennies.
are these are nickels.
$1
make a
65
phone call.
cents.
What
How
kind
would
of
you
rain,
know?
man? What was that? He's just dropped the coins and he's just like 267.
You just did the math.
$1.65.
And then as he's walking up to Ellie Mae, he's like, Indiana Jones couldn't have even done better than me trying to get that golden statue. Here you go. As he gives her the orb.
Wilson, you are amazing.
No, I am. Thank you.
Dude.
I think you
Not cool,
pronounced
man.
annoying wrong.
Wilson, would you roll me a D100, please?
He's done more than you have right now, Jimmy.
Ooh.
Oh, burn,
I got
man.
everybody off the bus.
Dude, burn. I got
Oh,
everybody. off
I'm
the
sorry.
bus.
You didn't help me get off the bus. I got off the bus on my own. Thank you very much.
I thought you weren't talking to me.
Okay, well, that starts now. Rude.
90. Whoa. Holy crap.
Got some high numbers on those D-hundies.
Dang.
Yeah.
He MacGyvered it.
I MacGyvered it. Yep.
That's what we're gonna say.
His hero. His hero.
Oh man.
As you hand the sphere over to Ellie Mae, Serafina, for a moment, her eyes roll back into her head. and you just see the whites of her eyes, and then she just... Some kind of authorities are coming.
Well, they were, but they crashed into this thing over there.
Uh-oh. Do we need to go?
There's
You
some
hear-
bikes over there. I could buy them.
You hear the whistle, or the whistle. That was me whistling. You hear the siren of approaching, but it's approaching from
Oh,
just
wait.
down the street.
Is it on the wrong side? Is it going to crash again?
You hear it coming from nearby, and you actually see as a brown and white, or brown and tan Ford Bronco with a light bar across the top of it comes just hauling butt down the street and pulls into the gravel parking lot and comes to a skidding stop, and you hear that
Time for the chase scene.
as a
Runs to the bike.
Wilson, where are you going, dude?
I'm getting the bikes, man. It's a chase scene.
Wait,
Are
they
we
said the
sure?
guys
The
are
siren-
gonna help.
the siren stops as you say that it's a chase scene, and you see out of this big, and this Ford Bronco has like a 4-inch lift on it. It's got big knobby mutter tires on it, and you see that the driver steps out and is a woman who is about 5'2", Hispanic, and she kind of slides down from inside this car, this police vehicle, which you can now see says Livingston County Sheriff on it, and she quickly walks over to where Javier is arguing with Jake the bus driver, and seems to know him. So Wilson, you were making a grab for the bikes.
I thought we were gonna get drinks, Gary.
No, I got a drink.
What a
We're not-
douche.
You're not. We gotta get you guys somewhere. I don't know. I'm not really
You-
from around here, so like, I don't.
You all, I'm not going to say you all. I'm going to say Wilson probably. You noticed this, that Serafina rolled her eyes in the back of her head, said some kind of authorities were coming, and then moments later, the sheriff showed up.
What the?
Mm-hmm.
As you find that these bikes are simply tied with this rope. Undoing the rope frees them. They're all, they look like they've been fixed up, cleaned, and have just been sitting out here for sale for a few bucks. But you can absolutely, there's more than enough bikes for each of you to grab a bike if you wanted to.
Okay, Jasmine's gonna run over to Javier and be like, how much are those bikes? Because we need them.
As you start to speak, you can now see, based on the badge, you can see that she's actually a sheriff's deputy. She turns to you and kind of holds up a finger and says, "Excuse me, dear. I am talking to my brother. The adults are having a conversation. Wait your turn."
Oh, oh my God.
Burn.
Wait just a second, okay? This is about money, and this man has a business, and he needs to make money to survive. So your little conversation could just wait. Okay.
She turns with her hands now on her hips, which also happen to be one on her gun and one on her radio.
Nice
I'm sorry?
chaperoning, Gary.
think I'm gonna make you roll an opposed charm check versus Deputy Rivera.
Dude, I made it 30 years without getting picked up by the cops. I'm not gonna do it now. I'm not getting involved.
D12. Yeah, let her sink or swim on her own. See if I loan you money again. I got an 11 out of a 12.
Let's see. He is also rolling a 12. He rolled a 6. I understand that you are probably a little bit distraught by everything that's happening.
Like a bus wreck for sure.
Listen,
Don't forget about the crashes.
are you okay?
I'm like, fine. Here, will like $100 cover it? And she just
Why are
shoves
you
a
trying to
$100
give?
bill at him.
Why are you, Javier's looking
Bikes.
at you like,
we want your
"What-
bikes. We need the bikes. We need the bikes. You need to make money. You have
Where-
a business,
where-
yes?
Where are you going to go?
We
just-
just need to not be here.
Just take the bikes. You can't go. It's not like you can steal them. You can't go anywhere.
Take the money. Are they for sale?
He kind of looks over at Deputy Rivera, who just kind of goes, and he plucks the $100 bill out of your pocket.
Thank you. Goodbye. Oh my God. People like to make money when they have a business.
Jasmine,
He folds it up and
you are awesome.
he kind of reaches inside, like through the pocket of his overalls into his pants pocket, and you see that he pulls out a red, blue, and yellow Superman wallet, rips it open and with the Velcro and slips the 100 inside there and tucks it away. As you have now paid way too much for these bikes.
Jasmine.
She doesn't care. She has money flowing.
Jasmine.
Yes, Uncle Gary?
Did you just give that guy $100 for
Yes,
five crappy bikes?
I want to go. The cop is there. I don't want to get in like this big conversation and stuff. Can we just not worry about money? I have more. It's okay.
Do you have any idea what $100 can buy?
Yes. 5 bikes. Can we go?
Oh,
Looking around at you, counting
not
Serafina,
wrong.
there's 6 of you.
6 bikes, pardon me.
Somebody's gonna have to ET her.
See, I was saying E E.T.
Wait a minute.
Actually, Jimmy, aren't you the one with foot pegs?
I was gonna say,
Yes,
Jimmy has
that's true.
pegs.
True
Yeah.
story.
I take the Jake license plate off my bike and toss it aside.
You guys are determined to
Yes.
force stuff in there. For those questioning, we in Kids on Bikes 2nd edition, all tropes are assigned a bike color and modification. I went ahead and had them write theirs down because you can't play a game of Kids on Bikes without having bikes available. So yeah, whatever bike you end up with, Jimmy has foot pegs, which means that Serafina can ride and gain the benefits of your bike while you are riding. I'm going to have you go ahead and roll a D100.
62.
Best part is you guys are rolling these and I'm not telling you anything about what they mean.
I'm very frightened.
Gary.
I'm not going to tell you shouldn't be frightened.
Yeah, I know.
What was that, 62 you said?
What's that? 62 I had.
All right, so you all mounting up on bikes and riding to who knows where?
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, I think Ellie Mae would probably try to get them like out of the open, like maybe even behind one of the buildings.
Ellie Mae, as you are kind of trying to gather everybody, you notice that on the road there is a like just a little bit past, so there's like a very small patch of grass that sort of defines the property line between Hell on Wheels and Spirits of Hell Saloon, and there is one of those brown and white signs that indicates that there's some kind of an attraction or something nearby, and it has the little tent symbol and says camping, but there's a sign above it that says I want to make sure I get this right. 1 second. it says Hell Creek Ranch Campground. And there's an arrow pointing up the road, and it says half a mile at Hell Creek Road.
Oh, I think she's gonna kind of turn to everybody and be like, "You guys ready to do a little bit of camping?"
Can we do glamping?
I don't know what that is.
Camping, but glamorous.
I still don't know what that means. I think we should go that way. And she's going to point in the direction of the campground.
All right, adventure time.
So, are we going to Greenfield Village or not?
Yeah, let's go. We got to get out of
listen,
here. We
not
can't
right
be
now.
here.
There's a sign for a campground. I figure it gets us out of the way.
Yeah,
Maybe
let's
it
go.
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe it gives us some time to hide.
Yeah, good plan, Gary.
Can you stop picking on my Uncle Gary, please?
Yeah, man. Take a
I
chill pill.
just told him good job. What's your problem?
Hey, I heard the tone.
It
Man.
sounded sardonic.
I don't think that's a word.
It is. Look it up.
You mean sarcastic?
No, I mean sardonic.
Yeah, she means sardonic.
Are you
Shut
guys,
up, Jimmy! Come on, man!
God.
are you guys
You are so
riding
darling.
on your bikes now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting on them and pedaling.
Jake's like,
Although-
and
I'm having trouble
I'm
pedaling.
not rushing you. I
heels.
just want to be clear if this conversation's happening while you're riding your bikes or if you're still in the parking lot that you started in.
Yeah, we
No.
haven't. None of us have taken a single step since we got off the bus, and we're probably never going.
Yeah,
to.
this is part 1 of 6 now.
Yes.
I feel like we've all claimed our bikes, probably sitting on them, getting ready to pedal.
There
Oh, yeah.
is, as you are leaving the parking lot, there is a the sound of the sheriff's deputy's vehicle starting back up. You hear the door close, you hear the engine start, and Deputy Rivera drives her Bronco slower and without the siren down the road towards the towards the city limit sign, where there are now, in addition to the 4 government vehicles, there are about half a dozen Michigan State Police trooper vehicles and a couple of Livingston County Sheriff's Department vehicles, as well as traffic that's been backed up. Somebody has put out, probably one of the state troopers has put out orange and white construction barriers, and she is heading over to try to communicate through the shield, through the dome, to them, as you all go in the opposite direction.
Which I hope is opposite from where the thing landed.
The funny thing about that, the direction you're heading is, so if that thing landed north of where you're at, you are currently heading east. But the arrow that pointed to Hell's Creek Campground was also pointing, what would be a left turn or heading north.
Oh.
You know, the more I think about it, I don't know if we're going the right way, guys. Aren't we kind of heading towards the giant obelisk with a demon reaper or whatever in it?
well, why don't we ask her? Didn't she like just predict the future?
Can you predict where this thing's gonna be? I guess here.
It does not take a prediction to see where it is. And I imagine she's standing on the pegs on the back wheel of Jimmy's bike, her pigtails sort of lightly blowing in the wind as she just kind of points over to the north. As you guys are pedaling along, you move past this initial grouping of trees, and you see about a half mile or so you can see the top half of this obelisk sticking out of the middle of a lake.
Is that always there? Has anybody been here before?
That is
No,
the
that's
Reaper's
what came
ship.
out of the sky. Remember?
Dude,
No,
you
you maybe
saw
not.
that land, man.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't do well with water.
So Ellie, I got a question for you.
What
Your
is-
skunk, did you? It's pretty friendly, right?
His name is Jasper. Yes,
Jasper.
he's friendly.
Well, you know that their sulfuric spray can range up to 10 feet, and it's
Yes.
extremely accurate with it, and you can
Yes.
detect it like from like a mile and a half away.
Mhm.
Does he normally eat like wasps and honeybees like normal skunks?
Like sometimes.
Okay,
We
but
set him after the wasp nests.
I
did
thought
you
he
know
had his
that?
stink sack removed.
He did. He is descented.
Oh, he is descented. But
Yes.
you
Does he
know,
still
they're the
do those
second.
things?
I mean, he can act like he can, but nothing comes out.
But
Oh man.
they're the second most common transmitter of rabies to humans.
Yeah, I know.
Have you checked your rabies shots yet?
Yes.
Can I interrupt, guys? I kind of think that we should not go towards the obelisk or the water and go any other direction but that
Do
one.
we know how this thing does with water?
I know how I do with water.
Well, I don't do good with water.
I need.
Why do you know so much about skunks, dude?
I studied them. I've lots of different things. You never know what you need to know. You know,
Maybe
I'm
for making a stink bomb or something.
well, yeah, that's true. It's the
That's not
chemical
wrong.
compound. So you know the fart smells. It's actually the chemical compound that you put together that makes that stink bombs. Which you're taking is sulfuric, and then you actually add a little bit of, and it goes into a dissertation of how to make a stink bomb.
We need to go. We have to go.
Here, I just like.
I
give him a
imagine you are
Mounds bar.
already pedaling right now. This is happening
Yep.
while you're pedaling
Yeah.
along.
Yeah.
Did we change directions?
Not that I know of.
I don't. Why are we heading towards the obelisk? It's
I
like
mean-
a bad idea.
Maybe a campground would be easier to get lost in, and
See,
Hopefully
that's
this
what
guy
I was
won't-
thinking.
You know
Let's
what?
stick with Ellie's idea.
Go to the campground, but if we turn off the obelisk, then we can get out of town.
You hope, because
I don't know
that
what you
thing
just
might be a
said.
big circle around the town. How are we
It
going to get out?
is. I mean,
It's-
well, you
it's
have to
gonna
turn the
find us.
clearly the obelisk. You saw that red light that go up and it goes around, and so the obelisk clearly put us in this bubble. So we got to, who's going to turn it off? Somebody's got to turn it off. We're going to turn it off so then we can get out of town, right?
how the hell are we
You
gonna
can
turn
turn
off
it
a
off.
big obelisk?
Hey, girl.
Don't know. Maybe it's got a button or a lever, or I don't. Sophia might know.
Oh yeah, let's take Serafina up to the thing that has the bounty hunter that totally wants to get her. So that and then we can be safe. That's what you want. I thought we were gonna help Serafina. Like I don't
Serafina, what the hell is
understand
that
this.
thing?
Oh my god.
Are we going? What is that thing? Are we supposed to be going through that? Is that how you get a hold of Orson or whoever you're supposed to call?
That
What?
that is the Reaper's craft.
Then-
Oh,
And
that's
so-
the Reaper's craft.
Wilson
So
is
shouldn't we go the other way?
Wilson is correct. That is
Oh my god, that's like totally what I've been saying.
that is what's generating the force field around this vicinity. It is also where I need to go to recharge my ship.
Oh my
Of
god.
course it is.
It's the only
So
thing.
that where you
what
call
kind of
Orson?
energy-
Real.
Is that where you
This
call
is like the
Orson?
worst day ever.
Does
At
that
least
mean
my
we have to
makeup's
go through the
gone.
water?
How do you recharge it?
I need a power source.
Do you
Is
like
it a
just
regu-
plug it in or something?
For a charging station.
I mean, is there?
Fascinating.
It's hard for me to explain. I would like everybody to make a flight
Uh-oh.
check, please. Now, keep in mind your bike and modifications, and see if anything gives you any assistance. Because you are all on your bikes, so skill checks. Some of you may have something that gives you a benefit.
Is it nighttime yet? Because I've got some.
It's literally
powered
like
lights.
it's literally not like barely noon.
Okay.
Ugh.
I got an 8. So I get to roll again. Because
I got a big old 5.
I
You got
have
a
a
cool
3 plus 1. So I have a
This
4.
This is a tiered check, by the way. So you have
Alrighty.
a 4. You said.
Me, yeah, because
I got a-
so I wrote down that I have a plus 1 bonus.
Oh yeah.
So I'm assuming it's from my bike.
I got a 14 total.
Okay. I would like Michelle to roll a D100, please.
Ooh. See, scary.
Uh-oh.
I dread the day I'm gonna have to roll one of these.
I hope
Coming.
it's soon.
Why would you
Um,
say that, man? Why would you say
97.
97.
Yeah.
Oh,
97.
97?
That's biggie.
Overachiever.
Good
Big
year,
boy.
probably.
I hope.
So, your
That's the magic marker.
rolls here. Wilson,
Yes.
as you all are pedaling along, you don't see whether it was a crack in the pavement or what it was, but you strike something. And it causes your front tire to actually almost like putting on the brakes. And you go head over heels. You go ass over tea kettle, as they say.
Yep.
And you crash into the pavement.
Oh.
I'm checking everybody else's numbers. Strangely, so Gary, you bump into a similar thing, and you actually see that there's something weird about the pavement where it's like buckled up, and it looks like it's freshly buckled. And you almost lose control. Ellie Mae, you clearly see that there's all of this happening. As Jasmine, you got a 4, you said? You also strike one of these buckled pavement sections, lose control of the bike, and it's more like your bike just suddenly is going too slow and you fall over. Jimmy, the last second you see a big chunk of pavement is pushed up, not just like something's caused it to buckle. You see a large piece of the pavement go like it's buckling in front of you, and suddenly it's like there's a distortion in the air, and suddenly you are 10 feet on the other side of where that buckled. And Ellie Mae, you see Serafina place her hand, well, she's already sort of holding on to Jimmy's shoulders. You see her sort of squeeze Jimmy's shoulders, and the two of them glow this pale green color momentarily, and they literally and bamf forward 10 feet.
What?
Did you guys see me jump that
Whoa.
shit? Did you see me jump that shit? Boom!
I think
Ow.
Ellie Mae will let Jimmy have that one.
As you're all sort of, half of you are sprawled or almost sprawled, or Jimmy kind of, I imagine, coming to a stop with one foot down, you hear from the side of the road, you hear a man's voice as he says, "It's as I foretold and have been foretelling for years. You cannot call a town Hell, Michigan, and not have it be a very gateway unto hell. The demons of hell are pushing their way up through the very pavement." There is a small building kind of pushed back away from the road. You can just see the front of it. This building looks like it's not much bigger than a garage, like a house garage, like a one-car garage. chipped and peeling white paint, missing some shingles on the roof. But the most notable piece of this building is the small steeple that rises off of it. And in hand lettering is a sign in front of it that says "The Only Church in Hell." And a man wearing kind of scruffy looking black suit with a black shirt, and he has like a white priest collar, is walking forward from this only church in hell. You kids have no idea what you've stumbled into. Lucifer himself is clawing his way up from the bowels of hell. If you're not careful, he will claim your souls.
Can I walk
Okay.
up to him and hand him a receipt for a Burger King meal I ordered and just kind of put it in his hand?
Yeah, you walk up to him and you reach out, and he, as he goes to take this, he grabs your hand. And he
It is
takes his
flame broiled.
he takes his other hand and kind of puts it over yours. Give me the girl.
Oh,
Oh! No, man. I just.
Zach, I need you to roll a D100, please.
Oh, no. I don't want to.
you can do it, Unky.
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna lose. We're looking at an 80.
All right, what are you doing as this individual, for no reason, pay no attention to the screen. As
What's
I-
all that about?
Yeah.
Hey, man. What's
That's a 4.
So,
Get that out of here. What the-
Oh, it went away.
what are you doing?
Gary was getting ready to like try and get this guy to stop, and when he says that, he just kind of his eyes widen. And he's like, can, and he starts to pull away. Is it like a tight grip?
It is a grip with a strength that belies the physicality of this man. This man looks like he's in his.
Yeah.
Actually, hold on. I know exactly how old this man is.
Gary age times.
Yeah. This man is. Where did he go?
3 Garys. He's 90.
My mistake. I apologize. This is not a man. This is a woman. And she is 45.
Oh.
But nothing else is different about it. She is dressed like a priest in scraggly clothes, and she is holding on to your hand with an incredible strength.
Hey, let go. Come on. Hey. Come on. Wait.
I'm gonna start pedaling away with Serafina.
You find, Jimmy, as you start to pedal, you know how in a dream when you try to run but you just can't seem to get the speed?
I hate that.
All of you feel like you're moving with suppressed speed. You in particular, Gary. Your thoughts are muddy. You think something and it takes seemingly forever for the words to reach your lips, yet this woman, this thing, seems to be able to move at a normal speed.
I'm sober right now, but it does not feel like it.
Give me the girl,
I don't have a girl.
and I will leave your planet.
Oh, snap.
Make a let's do a contested brawn check.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. I have a good die. I have a good die for this. It's a
So do
D20.
I. Oh. I'm
Oh.
also rolling a D20.
What's these points that we can use, and can I use one?
You have your adversity tokens.
Adversity.
Tell me about that.
You started with 3 of them. If you've ever
Yes.
failed a roll, you gained an additional one. You didn't, because you passed the first big one.
Yeah, I think I failed all the...
You also have a
Succeeded.
pool of 6 that the audience has given to you.
Are they re-rolls, or are they...
No, they are.
wins?
They function like like adversity tokens. They act as a +1. There are no
Oh,
re-rolls in this game.
Okay.
Or you can spend 5 of those audience domain pops to make somebody roll on the D100 mystery grab bag table.
I don't want to do that. But
I'm
I
going to
don't
tell
think
you
that-
right now, you guys are free to use these however you want. But I have it on good authority that at least some of the audience wants somebody to use them for a D100 roll for somebody. Don't pay any attention to the man behind the curtain trying to goad you into spending the
Yeah.
D100 roll.
Here's what happened. I rolled my D20 and it was a 1.
Oof.
Well, I haven't rolled my D20 yet.
I
don't-
do have a +1 because I'm an adult,
Okay.
which gets me to
Wait.
2.
Yes, so you're at 2. So
Yeah.
here's the thing in this game. I haven't rolled yet. You can use your tokens after you see whether or not you fail.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not even
Oh
gonna.
my god.
What is that? 15?
It was almost
Oh,
a
that's-
20.
Okay.
I
I was
don't
like,
think
holy
we-
snap.
We collectively couldn't do that for him.
Viewers in chat, if you were to gift
So here's
10 points,
So here's another thing. Everybody, except in Snap Decisions, or even in Snap Decisions, anybody can use their adversity tokens to help other people out. But
That's true.
I will also
Okay.
remind you this is Act 1 of 16.
Don't use them all in the
Um,
first show, kids.
This is the first episode of What's a New Campaign, apparently.
Yeah.
I say use the 6 because we can always get more if the chat is generous enough.
Well, here's the thing.
That's going to put him at an 8.
That's gonna put me at 8, which
That's-
is
Gotta get 15.
Is it possible the D100 can get him out of trouble?
It's possible it can get him into even more trouble, too.
Ooh, I like those odds though.
A D100 is...
I have 4 adversity tokens.
So do
Got
I.
3.
I have
Guys,
4. 8.
I want to use the
10.
D100.
Yes. Yes.
I want to do it. Let's spend
Alright.
5 of
That's-
our...
Do it.
So,
do it.
Tamiko-
Do it.
That was courtesy of
Do it for
Tamiko.
Carrie and Tamiko.
This is for you guys.
So this, we'll see what this does. Maybe.
I do have a lighter if somebody's got hairspray.
You know I do.
All of
Oh
you
my
are
God.
moving like
Whoa.
molasses, so...
I'm
Okay.
still locked in
Okay,
with
okay,
this
okay,
demon
okay.
hunter.
Alright, here we go.
thing.
So, Zach, that means you need to roll a
Go ahead.
D100.
Yes, it does.
I should have made these dice a contrasting color so I can notice they're still there. I keep leaving them on screen.
I was
Um,
using one as a pillow. It's like, wait, yeah.
I wondered
You're
what
right.
you were doing earlier.
I was trying to go to sleep on the
I
pillow
have
tonight.
I have the
Sorry.
zoom window over here that I watch because it's close to the camera, and I glance at the OBS over here. Jeremy says
You're
it's,
like,
a,
what the hell?
it's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out.
Let's do this.
What happens when I roll a 39?
Let's find out.
That's a nice middle
Nobody has
number.
ever rolled a 39.
Oh. First for everything.
Of course, this happens in a
Always
one shot.
laughing.
This is this is one I don't remember if I wrote this one or somebody else did.
I
I feel like
did.
I did. This is one of the more silly ones.
I
But
like
if it can
silly.
happen in a Steven Spielberg's Amazing Stories in the late 80s, early 90s, it can
Oh,
happen in
nice.
our game.
Good reference.
As you are struggling desperately to get away, and because you spent the 5 domain pots, and even though you rolled that one, this is going to be the thing that actually gets you out of it. This is one of those things that's it's just so crazy it might work. Gary, your bicycle, and all of your belongings, you watch as, like a music video for Aha, sketch lines begin to appear around your hand where you're being gripped by this entity. And then you notice the coloration of your hand and your shirt and everything changing, and you all watch in astonishment
Oh no.
as Gary Felposh, his bike and all of his belongings, turn into an animated cartoon. Zach, you rolled
Wow.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The pros are, while you are in this condition, you can do cartoon style antics. And I'm going to leave that to your imagination. The cons are, you are essentially drawn, which means you can be erased or washed away. Water has just become your mortal enemy. I will make a call as to how long this lasts, but I'm going to say it's actually, I'm going to let you describe what animation style it is that you turn into.
You guys see before you, basically Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, and it's like almost 1-to-1 with like slightly different outfit. And you see Gary as he kind of like, I imagine like the priestess's arms, just like the way that his hand turns to 2D, it just like slips out or whatever, and he kind of like does like one of those like big exaggerated leaps back with his like legs waddling in the air before he lands, and he looks around, he's like, yeah, like that, and he goes like, zoinks, like, what's going on?
With that happening, the time dilation has stopped, and everything sort of snaps back into full speed as you all witness this.
Like, this doesn't happen in California, guys.
It doesn't normally happen in Hidden Paradise either. I don't know what's going on.
Like, why do you all seem weirdly 3D right now?
My God. Let me get my mirror out. Back. Look at yourself.
Zoinks! Like, what happened to me, man?
Oh my God,
I
I don't even
think-
know what to say.
Hey, Scooby, let's get out of here.
Zach,
Oh my God, tell me that Gary just like calls Jasper over and Jasper is just like is dead.
Ooh, when he picks him up, he becomes animated.
Zach,
Like,
Shut up.
Scoops.
I'm gonna make you roll a grit check to see how you're handling this transition.
You
Oh,
guys know that my grid is a D6.
it's okay, mine's a D4.
Oh, that's worse. Okay. 3.
This is, even for your laid back self, this is quite a shock.
Yeah.
Roll a d4.
Roll a D4. 1.
For the next hour, you have a mental consequence. All mental
Ooh.
checks will be made at -2.
Oh, jeez Louise.
Yeah, I think
Gary,
I
does
already
that
had
mean-
that.
Hey Gary, does that mean that I can have the rest of your burners?
Now is not the time.
God, Jimmy!
I pull out of cartoon space my 2D burners as all of my things are animated. I'm like, yeah, have a sip, loser. Oh, good.
And
Bubbles come out.
in classic Hanna-Barbera style, as you basically down the entire bottle, when you set it upright, it's still full.
Upright.
Rough right.
Upright.
There is still the wild creature woman, who is now moving.
Yeah,
So picture
I'm
if
going.
you will, a shambling zombie where they kind of except faster, like almost like it's sped up. So it's
like
that very
Walking
like
Dead?
herky jerky, like as she is starting to move towards you all, specifically towards Jimmy and Serafina.
Grabbing out of his backpack a glass jar, taking a something else, stuffing it in, and then putting one other item in, tapping it, going back and
Molotov
chucking it
cocktail.
right in front of this rumbling thing as he says, "Pedal!" As he
Sorry, you got gated. What did you yell?
I said, "Pedal!"
Oh,
Oh, pedal. Okay.
Pedal. As he MacGyvered a smoke bomb upon explosion in front and smoke bomb right in front of this thing, or smoke explosion right in front of this
I'm
thing.
going to let you choose. Jay, do you want to use a brains check to see how good your smoke bomb concoction is, or do you want to make a flight check or rather a fight check to see how well your accuracy is?
Brains on the how good it is.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a brains check.
This is a D20.
All right.
So,
Crossing my fingers for you, bud.
two.
and that it's been an hour, has it not? Over an hour?
Well, I mean, real time.
Well, game time, because I had an hour of that physical. If
yeah.
it's been over an hour,
It's not been over an hour. It's
Okay.
been. It's getting close. I'll say
Okay.
this is the last check you have to make with that 1 hour penalty.
okay. Then it's a 16.
Nice.
Ooh.
That's pretty darn good. Yeah, this glass jar bursts at the feet of this thing, and immediately this cloud of acrid smoke sort of fills the air in front of it, giving you all the advantage you need to grab your bikes and pedal the heck out of here.
There's a perfect picturesque outline in like dust of Gary before he pedals out of like the pew!
There's like that elongation as
Yep.
you sort of
Yeah. He starts pedaling before he starts moving, like
as we see Gary riding his bike, his legs are just a blur. The wheels are
Yep.
they're not circular, they're like these sort of oval shapes leaning forward. He's not going any faster than any of you. It just looks like that.
That tracks.
You quickly begin to or rather quickly make your escape down the road, and this maddened woman emerges from the smoke, hands grabbing out to people who are no longer there. And we see the camera sort of stays at a low angle on the road with her as all of you are pedaling off still in the direction to Hell Creek Road. And all of a sudden her herky jerky movements stop, and she stands there for a moment, and we see the ground at her feet go. And from inside the sort of priestly vestments that she's wearing, it sort of, we can see the silhouette of something slender sort of moving down her back, then down her pant leg, and then we actually see this red, almost translucent tentacle-like thing slide down into a crack in the pavement, and we just see the last vestige of it as it goes and disappears, and we see the pavement go towards where you all are pedaling to where you're going. We're going to cut back to all of you on your bikes riding away, and you very quickly reach the Hell Creek road, and you see the sign, big sign on the left-hand side of the road, big red arrow pointing north along Hell Creek Road that says Hell Creek Ranch Campground, and then it says swimming, canoeing, kayaking, fishing, and just about etc. And then there's like just illustrations of like a family. Oh, and it says and riding ranch. That's the part I couldn't remember.
Where's this?
And the road does keep going north or keep going east. It also goes south. So do you go towards the ranch or do you choose a different direction?
Which direction on the compass is the ranch?
North.
We gotta go to the
faster.
we gotta go to the obelisk to get the spaceship charged from whatever metallic and or magnetic power source it has. Yeah, we're going into the dangerous den, but you know what? What good adventure would not be going into the, you know, the demons or into the devil's den or the monster's den? You know? Yeah, that's it. Okay.
I would much rather stay away from the lake.
If you guys haven't noticed, that thing is like possessing everybody that's along the way that we're going. Are we actually going to be safe anywhere?
No.
Like, I'm pretty sure it turned me into a cartoon.
Like for reals, it did. And I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna look at Serafina and go, man, your mom was pissed.
That is
I
not
think-
my mother.
I think that we should go to the water, even though I don't like it, and I know you don't like it, Ellie, but that's where the thing is, and we have to help her. And like, this is the only way we're going to be able to help her.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, it's an adventure. Where's your adventure spirit? Where's that stallion spirit? That
Sometimes
riding
fear
free.
trumps fear. She's afraid, and like, I don't want to see anybody get hurt on the water. So, but we have to.
I think you just you hear Ellie Mae kind of like whispering to herself, and I'm gonna play off of one of my ranks that I took, which is rank, where I excel in competitions. And you just hear her say, "I'm gonna get there first," and she bolts.
Like, over my dead body. Pew!
She makes sure to ride over like stones that she knows if she rides fast enough, she can flick back at Gary.
Gary's like unfazed because he's 2D. It's just like, shoo, shoo.
I'm gonna need anybody who's racing to make a flight check.
Not
Hey,
really.
Oh,
Hey,
I'm so gonna
Serafina.
lose this.
Serafina, hit the turbo. Let's go.
Do I get a plus for being aerodynamic?
You,
Which way are
if you can
facing, though?
describe what cartoon antic you apply,
Oh,
I will give
man.
you either a +1, a +2, or a +3. So you're
Very
going to
nice.
describe it, and I'm going to have the audience. I'm
Oh,
going to give them a
man.
quick moment to suggest your bonus.
Ooh.
I don't know how to do it. I thought there was a way to do polls in. Yeah. Maybe somebody that's a mod can run a poll.
I think two things are happening because Gary is desperately trying to speed up. So, out of cartoon space, he has produced a carrot on a stick that he has put in front of himself, but instead of a carrot, it's a can of pop. And then, as he's going after it and pedaling, like trying to speed himself up, he's also looking behind him and like like blowing behind him to try and increase his speed even more. And he's just like constantly switching back and forth between like as he's like
So roll your dice.
roll the one again.
Oh God. Why
Hold on a
don't you roll
second.
another D100?
I don't have the points for that anymore.
I don't really want you to.
I'm going to do this really fast. I think I did this successfully.
Ooh, vote.
There's a poll. Vote on Gary's bonus. +1, +2, or +3. It's going to go for 1 minute. Everybody else, tell me who's racing. I know Ellie Mae's racing.
There is a poll.
Everybody but it looks like it's at the top of the chat in
Can we
Twitch.
vote or no?
If you're in Twitch chat, you can vote.
Heck yeah. Booyah.
Oh, I can inflate the vote with channel experience
Oh,
points.
wait,
Heck
Zach, you
yeah.
can't vote. Anyway, Jimmy, Ellie, and Wilson, what are you doing as you're trying to race forward? How are you racing, and what did you roll on your flight check?
I'm about to roll, but I'm telling Serafina to hit the turbo,
Nice.
and I got a 2.
Ellie Mae is literally just going as quickly as she can. I rolled a 12 because I got an 8 and then I got a 4.
Okay.
So she is literally just like hauling ass, just trying to listen for like the horses. She's concentrating on where she's going so that way she's not looking at where the water could possibly come up.
Zach earned a +3 from the vote, 72%.
Oh. Which
All
turns my 1 into a 4.
right. Wilson, what did you got a 6. What are you doing as you're racing along?
I'm just trying to. I'm just moving as quickly as I can, doing that. You know, when you're 13, you're just going back and forth,
Oh, yeah,
on
yeah.
your bike.
Your bike you're kind of like this, and your bike's just going.
Yeah, it's just. I'm just.
which is
Yes.
super inefficient.
Yeah, and I'm
unless
just trying
you're
to go-
climbing a hill.
Exactly, but you know, he's just doing it, just riding as quickly as he can. He's getting a little out of breath because he hasn't been riding a bike very much. But yeah.
And
Pushing too many pencils.
Jimmy, what did you roll as you're yelling at or calling back to Serafina, telling her to hit the a 2? She just leans into your ear and she goes, "You keep saying that. I do not know what that means." And Ellie Mae, you are very clearly leading the pack. I'm gonna have you roll a D20 for me, Ellie Mae, and you are going to enjoy this particular roll. I am certain of it.
Oh, I got a 19.
Okay. Roll me one more time and re-roll if you get a 19.
That is a 4.
Okay. As you are racing down this road, on either side of the road, there are white rail fences. I don't know what they're called. They're not like rails. They're like the white fences like you would see around a horse pasture.
Yeah.
And as you all are racing along, except for Jasmine, who is taking her time, riding safely, and who seems to be riding pretty close pace with Jimmy, who can't seem to get Serafina to do whatever it is he's trying to get. Ellie Mae pulls out ahead of Gary and Wilson. And Ellie Mae, as you're pedaling along ahead of everybody, you hear it on either side of you. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not.
Yeah.
The sound of
Yeah.
hooves. As you look to your left,
No.
I'm just going to tell you their names because you rolled on my random horse table.
Yes.
Oh.
You, on your left, racing alongside you at more of a gallop because you're a kid riding on a bike, but is Emberheart. And on the right is an all-black stallion named Ebonshade. And Emberheart is sort of a reddish, I guess chestnut would be the color.
Chestnutty color.
As these two horses are in. You know what? Just for fun, roll me two more.
Oh.
4 horses.
A
Somebody
5?
mentioned Apocalypse, and I'm like, you know what? We need 4 horses.
Oh,
A 5
God.
and an 11.
A 5 and an 11. All right, I'm going to take the liberty of moving your numbers
That's fine.
1, because you've rolled an odd on every single one of these, and I want you to have an even
I
number.
rolled a 4 on one.
Okay. I thought you rolled odd on both of them. Anyway, I want you to hear these other two names. So you said a 5 and 11.
Yes.
Well, it's going to be a 6 and a 12.
Okay.
Or sorry, 6 and a 10. So in addition to Emberheart and Ebonshade, 2 more horses appear. Next to Emberheart is a another black horse that's somehow darker than Ebonshade. This horse is Midnight Prancer.
Oh.
And next to Ebonshade is
Applejack.
this horse seems to almost have a it's a white color that almost seems to reflect extra sunlight. Moonbeam Melody.
Oh my god. Oh my
So
god.
Emberheart, Ebonshade, Midnight Prancer, and Moonbeam Melody. These 4 horses are just galloping alongside as you are racing, your hair blowing back. Out of the top of your backpack, we see Jasper poke his head, and the wind is just blowing his fur back as you come pedaling up into the actual Hells Creek Ranch. You can see the big stables where there are even more horses. There's more than a dozen other horses, some in the stables. There's some that are being fed or tended to. You can see where there's the big racks with the canoes and the kayaks and tubes. There's a bait and tackle shop. You can see that there's a few smattering of what look like year-round campers that are parked here. It's near the end of the summer, so there's not a lot of residents at the campground. And you can see as you come charging up the way, leading the pack, you see that there is a man and a woman. Sort of, they're both wearing jeans, cowboy boots. They both have white Stetsons, and they're both wearing the exact same style of purple Western shirt with the sort of mother of pearl snaps up. They are very clearly they look like a couple. As they sort of greet you as you come to a breathless halt at the end of your race, as the horses sort of run out of fence to run alongside, and they kind of call out to you, "Whoa, whoa!" As you skid to a halt, and the rest of your gang eventually catches up. As where they go? As they step forward, I'm not even going to waste time describing them. I'm just going to tell you who they look like. They exactly look like Nick Offerman and Megan Mullally.
No idea.
So Nick Offerman, Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec. Megan
Yes.
Mullally is his ex-wife Tammy, also his real life wife.
Mhm.
It is 100% them. As they step forward, kind of the man says, "Whoa, whoa, easy there, girl. What's the rush?"
Friends, they're there. Thing bad up the back there. Iron
Well,
horse.
there's definitely something bad that way. And the woman, she does it's kind of it's basically the same move that happened in Jurassic Park, but it's her reaching over and taking his head. She kind of reaches up, puts her
Yeah.
and kind of turns it towards your friends as they're approaching. And he reaches up and he pulls his glasses off as he looks and sees Gary the cartoon come riding up. And he goes, "Holy shit. Dakota, do you see what I see?" "Yes, Ashton. That is an animated man." And
I know, right?
that's where we're going to end this session.
No!
Because we're running out of time.
God
and-
dang it!
It feels like a good place at the ranch with
Oh.
Ashton and Dakota Reed, the ranchers of Hell's Creek
love them
Ranch
already.
Campground.
I'm just glad they're not walking like zombies.
They
Yeah,
will be in
I-
a minute.
I don't know what I was
Not
thinking
yet.
that even believing for a moment that this could be a one shot. This is
We love you, Jake.
a 3-shot.
Mhm.
This is a
Indeed.
3-shot for sure.
Minimum.
So we are going to figure offline. We'll figure out when we can play our next 2 sessions. We'll get those on the calendar sooner than later. We got to work around a couple things, but I hope you guys had fun.
Oh God, yes.
Oh yeah.
If you can't tell, obviously.
It's so fun with one shots when you guys, well, 1 shots, 3 shots, whatever. With games, when you create these characters and you sort of have you can't help but think of your character sort of in a bubble. You think of what your character is. You guys had the advantage of I had the players all answer relationship questions, which is part of the world building of the Kids on Bikes game system. And that was a way they sort of, that's where this relationship between Brenda Ironside and Gary came about, and some of these other relationships, Gary being Jasmine's uncle. The characters are all built these to kind of tie themselves together. And then you get into my world and I start making weird stuff happen. And then we decide, hey, by the way, we're going to let you roll on the D100 table. And you roll quite possibly one of the weirdest ones that I'm pretty sure I wrote that one. That's also how Tamiko's character Coop wound up with a Nintendo Power Glove prototype as a hand in the
I
main
was watching that
campaign.
one.
So,
Nice.
hey, the audience wanted it, you wanted it, you got it. For the next hour in game, you are
An
an
animated.
animated character. We've got an adorable skunk. Ellie Mae seems to be the most level-headed of this group of kids.
Yeah.
It
Wilson,
has to be because of her 3 younger brothers and living on a farm.
Yes.
Wilson has the potential for coming up with some zany ideas that just might work. And
See?
well, I'll tell you what, if money is involved, Jasmine's going to buy
go.
your way to success.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And
It's my credit card.
antagonizing everyone along the way is Jimmy. No, I love your characters. I love seeing how you guys react and what you decide to do. It's so funny because I was telling Zach earlier, I wrote my outline in detail, pretty much up to the point of where the alien craft, the obelisk, lands. And then I just wrote, then they deal with stuff and try to see what happens, because I have no idea where you guys are going to go or what
It's
you're
the
going to do.
hijinks ensue part of every DM's notes.
Yep, hijinks ensue. So yeah, it became clear to me that we were reluctantly, I know I'm gonna have to twist these players' arms to get us into another session or two.
Oh, jeez. That suck.
Hey, all the more
Nice.
reason to show off the intro title sequence with your name and lights. And
Right. I'm a movie star.
so I want to say a huge thank you to everybody who joined us tonight. What an incredible audience.
Oh,
People
yeah.
hanging out
What
with
a
us
crowd!
on a Friday
What
night.
a crowd!
On a Friday night to watch these zany antics. Thank you to those who contributed with gift subs and bits and all of that to to make Animated Gary possible. And thank you to everybody in chat. I love seeing an active chat. I wish I could participate more in it, but I'm kind of like running a game. But I do like seeing that people are getting into it, and it makes me happy. If you like this game and want to see more of this, please tune in on Thursday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern for our regular Kids on Bikes campaign, currently in its 2nd season. Welcome to Paradise Academy. We just had our 29th session. And no joke, the last 3 in-world days have taken about 3 months in real time to get through. So that's how things are going over there. You can even watch about a half a dozen episodes recently to catch Craig's guest starring spot on that. Tune in this Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern to catch myself and Sarah, along with M, Karen, and Vi, for our next session of Sky Metal Iron Gods. And we are working behind the scenes on getting the finale for Scribes and Scrolls. We got a couple other shows on the horizon. Stay tuned. If you're not already there, join us in Discord. We do have a public channel called One Shots that's sort of like for this game. The chat channel. We'll make sure that everybody is informed when we decide on when our next episode will be, so you can join us for that. Finally, I want to say just a huge thank you to these amazing players, trusting just how quickly you all accepted wanting to play in this game, and creating your characters, and just knowing that I'm going to just put you through wild scenarios, and there's no guarantee you're going to make it out alive. Well, you'll make it out alive. There's no guarantee your character will make it out. But I love playing with people that I don't normally get the chance to play with. That's why I'm hoping to run more of these kinds of one shots. So it was great to get to officially meet and play with you, Michelle. You've been a part of the MTD community for a while now. You got spoiled getting to play in a Jeremy Erasmus Expeditions game. Are you all there? What? Hold on. What just happened? Am I still streaming? That's the question. So, I'm in the middle of thanking my players. So, that's weird. No, nobody's here on the stream. And I just lost Zoom again. So, this is, I don't know what's happening. So, I guess,
Oh, it's coming back up.
oh, that's weird. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't stopped screaming apparently. I guess, yeah. Audience.
Oh, hello. Oh, hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yes.
This is the weirdest thing. So, hold on. Oh, this thing is it. I've never had this particular glitch happen right at the end. You guys are all scrambled all over the place. Can you all hear me?
I can.
It's fine.
Yeah.
This
Yes.
Gary, now.
this was so weird. I just realized as
Who
I
am I
was
now?
as I was thanking
Jasmine.
you all.
Oh my gosh, I'm Ellie Mae.
I don't know what's
Oh, yeah, eh?
happening.
Whoa.
Okay.
I'm Ellie Mae.
Oh, who am I now?
Musical
Okay.
characters.
It's Jimmy.
So before my bus explodes, I'm just gonna
Russians. It's the goddamn Russians.
I'm just gonna say goodbye. I wanted to say thank you to each and every one of you. It's been awesome to play with you. We'll figure out when we're gonna play again. And we'll talk in the Discord. So on our way out of here, I want to say a huge thank you to Jay, Sarah, Craig, Zach, and Michelle, without whom this would just have been me talking to myself for a couple hours. With that, we're going to go ahead and end this stream the same way we end every stream. And you can say it with me if you want.
It's